Loot. The reward to progress in ARK Survival Evolved is a huge benefit to reach and defeat the endgame battles, prepare yourself for PvP, or just survive long enough out in the wild. And with so many different ways of obtaining improved quality armour, saddles, weapons and much more, most of which offer a chance of obtaining those all-important blueprints, what are the best ways out there? You're right kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to another top 10 as voted by you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share around and let's get into it. So in at number 10 is Genesis 1 missions. Introduced with the arrival of the map, missions are an access pass to various unique challenges, initiated via terminals across each region, simply tracked and briefed via the main menu UI, with 176 available and most offering gamma, beta or alpha variations, as well as hexagon bonus points accumulated with each beaten spent to purchase instant loot crates of your own, noting tier 3 crates offering ascendant and high quality items such as fabricators, grinders, kibble and rarely tech tier items. Each mission rewards a variety of different loot options across the board, with various different requirements. Off the bat, most race missions can be initiated straight away. The Rhino 500 for example can offer endgame tech swords to an early game player, and tougher missions such as Out of the Frying Pan dropping pump shotguns, all with their own reward loot tables, so it's worth knowing exactly what each offer, preparing for and running if looking for a specific item. In at number 9 is Ragnarok Frozen Dungeon. One of my recommended first things to do if playing on boosted servers. The deathworm infested gauntlet centered on Rag at either 31.3, 33.7 or 30.9, 37.8 boasts an alarming amount of loot crates awaiting you. The path to obtain the pack artifact isn't without some caution mind, as you'll face against dozens of deathworms, and finally the Ice Worm Queen, scaling in difficulty depending on your player count. The entrance alone can be a rewarding dip, boasting up to yellow tiered loot crates, but once in the heart of the dungeon you've got 4 high tiered loot crates awaiting, with a further 3 offered once beating the Queen, offering loot all the way up to ascendant including weapons, saddles and armour. Your server type will really reflect how easy you can run this, but a well leveled prepared player can pop out at the end with some ascendant quality gear almost every time. In at number 8 is Lost Island Temple of the Forgotten, aka the Labyrinth, found at 99.2, 80.5, accessible only with a flyer, will greet you with a seemingly daunting challenge of puzzles and danger. However, once understanding the route can be easily ran naked, especially with a Sinnoh, with many red loot crates awaiting you, 1 on the first floor and another 4 waiting on the third, each again offering ascendant quality gear and saddles. With repeat runs and no immediate danger, can see that loot building up in no time at all. In at number 7 is Aberration Surface Drops. Perhaps overlooked by many, needing some preparation and time management, the hostile surface areas of Aberration can be a great source. Ideally needing a light pet and drake and understanding nighttime cycles, being inaccessible during the day but offering incredibly slow night cycles on every 3rd day. You can zip around to each drop in no time at all, being quick enough to outrun the hundreds of reapers awaiting. With 3 surfaces available, solo I find the surface entrance closest to portal being the best, as the drop quantity means you will consistently be picking up new drops, with a goal to spawn in a red ringed drop, the ultimate reward, with ascendant quality flak, hazard, weapons, saddles and especially the fabled Rock Drake BP awaiting with a lot of persistence. In at number 6 is Gacha Crystals. The most passive on the list, once tamed a gacha of which can offer a variety of random resources right up to element dust, can create an infinite source of loot for you right in your base, with some setup needed requiring a mate boosted pair and only 1 mated boosted pair within a specific range, saddled and stocked up on both snow owl pellets and plant species white traps. Once eaten will reward you with Gacha Crystals, boasting flak, riot and most of the traditional weapons in the game. In at number 5 is Genesis 2 missions. Similar to number 10 in the list, missions are accessed this time by any terminal on the map, with a new variety of missions, all of which we voted into a top 10 of their own to see which was your favourite. With again race missions being a quick entry to run starting out, but once prepared with a strong creature, ideally a Giga, there's some debate that choosing Alpha Velonasaur Stalk and repeating is a great source for a range of saddles, pump shotguns, riot and especially tech rifles and pistols. With again a nice healthy hexagon reward bonus to purchase tier 3 loot crates with. In at number 4 is Ragnarok Jungle Dungeon. Another seemingly daunting challenge for reward, facing an almighty mini-boss at the end. The cave, found at 18.727.8, awaits armies of poisonous creatures, insta-death lava and the lava elemental at the end, and perhaps some preparation to run, armour and lesser antidote or gilly and cactus broth to avoid, but certainly much easier to scale now with a Sinnoh, and deep within the second section awaits a number of yellow and red loot crates awaiting, but the real reward is beating the end. Recommended using a Velonasaur, substituting to rocket launchers or a tech rifle if not available, taking down the giant lava elemental which, like the queen scales with your player count, will reward you with a wealth of high quality loot, with a high roll on gear and saddle blueprints especially from its corpse, as well as rewarding you with 4 high tiered red loot crates. In at number 3 is Ragnarok Desert Drops. Formerly known as the Death Sands, ode to its storing the odd death worm perhaps, lies some of the easy access deep sea loot crates available, and yes, I did say deep sea. Whilst normally these are found in the associated areas across a number of maps, Ragnarok follows the scorched earth trend of simply displaying them out for you to access around 65-75, with 4 different spawn locations available across the desert, and one notably close to Wyvern Cove. They offer the same high quality ascendant loot through weapons, armour and saddles, in particular Giga saddles, riot and pump shotguns awaiting. In at number 2 is Genesis 2 Space Crates. Where to begin with this, needing a video of its own, which in fact I have, and I'll leave a link in the description. With each nighttime rotation and you visit new space systems, new resources spawn in the space void and specific coloured space crates spawn, not unlike normal beacons on other maps. Taking some practice to identify which of each colour spawns with each space system visited, you'll find some of the most incredible endgame loot in these simple to access drops right off the bat. In fact, it's entirely possible to start on Gen 2, zip around the crates available and come away with a small starter kit for a base, as well as decent quality gear right up to tech tier. Being nerfed somewhat since its original launch, of which then I tested exactly what to expect with each drop. They are still by far the best starting loot source for any player, especially seeing you can fly around the map right off the bat too. And before we get to number 1, let's just have a quick special mention to the loot sources that didn't just make the cut. And here it is in at number 1, Orbital Supply Drops. Winning by a majority vote, it's completely agreeable to see why. Initiated by finding one on extinction, dropped in specific locations from the sky and activated automatically when in range, will initiate a wave defense mini game, requiring you to fend off the imminent creatures approaching, defending its health until the end to access the loot inside. Whilst blue and yellow are easy enough to run, still needing some preparation against the hordes, red and purple are where the real challenges begin, but equally rewarding an incredible amount of high-end loot, from flak to riot, behemoth gates to cliff platforms, Rex to mech saddles, full tech suits and weapons, all of high quality. The sheer amount alone is a real sight to behold. With a number of tactics such as Gigas, Wyverns or Enforcers to name a few as great choices to defend, much easier in a group, this is seemingly the best possible loot source for the best possible gear in the game. And there we go, that completes the list. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, comment below, let me know what more top 10s would you like to see voted in future. My name's Raasclark, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.